How you doing today? I want to thank everybody for coming out. We are here to bring awareness to the Dorian Murrell case. There's a lot of inconsistencies. The story that was reported by IMPD is not matching up to evidence that's being found in this case. We have reached out to a lot of people here in Indianapolis to try to get help and support about this case. There's been a year since Dorian was killed. No one in Indianapolis wants to come and help us to get answers for this case. So we went on a national level and we brought in help to try to bring in awareness about what's going on here. Another update about this case, as of today, we were contacted by the prosecutor. They are going to be charging Tyler Newby with more charges of manslaughter, and I believe there will be more charges coming also. The hearing for that will be on the 21st. That will be before the trial. The trial does start on the 3rd of next month, and we're preparing and trying to bring awareness to this and try to get the word out about the truth that needs to happen about Tyler Newby lying about this case. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and right here next to me is our family attorney. He's here to present and help us in getting answers and any questions we can get answers for. As far as for evidence, as far as for statements or anything that the state may have that they will not share with the family. There's been a year we have had no success with communication with IMPD. We have had no success with communication with the city of Indianapolis. I have spoken with multiple people. I spoke with Prosecutor Mears. Prosecutor Mears told me we would have a meeting to go over the evidence and for them to explain the findings, and they have not gotten back with us, and it's been almost a year. Now, I will turn this over to our attorney, which is Mr. Malik Shabazz. He is out of Washington, D.C. He is a civil rights attorney. He will explain everything that we'll be looking for, what we're doing, and he can give you more details as far as for where we're moving forward with this.
All right, let's give Brother CG a round of applause here. Let's give him a strong hand. Let's give him a strong hand for his efforts. We're here because we want justice for Dorian. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We want what?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
For who?
Dorian!
We want what?
Justice!
For who?
Dorian!
We want what?
Justice!
For who?
Dorian!
We want what?
Justice!
For who?
Dorian!
All right, good afternoon. I won't be long, but I must be strong. We're right here in this historic state of Indiana. My name is Malik Shabazz. I've been asked to help press the prosecution for Tyler Newby for the March 31st, 2020 murder of Dorian Murrell. I want to thank Miss Tanya Armstrong, grandmother. I want to thank Miss Mathis, his mother. And I want to thank again CG, his cousin. I want to thank Brother Ajabu. I want to thank the Panthers who have come here to support this weekend. Let's give the Panthers a strong round of applause. We are here because first and foremost we must have Tyler Newby prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We must have Tyler Newby prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We want who prosecuted?
Tyler Newby!
We want who prosecuted?
Tyler Newby!
We want who to be prosecuted on first-degree murder?
Tyler Newby!
You say, well, he's already charged. You say there's a trial set. I say here, black people here in the state of Indiana, you have reasons to be concerned as to whether or not Tyler Newby will be effectively prosecuted here in the city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana. because the historical record has shown that black people have a lot to be concerned about when it comes to justice and the justice system in the state of Indiana. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll talk about a few facts, then we're going to backtrack on a few facts, and then we'll get right to your questions. But we're here because we're concerned that this case may be botched. We are concerned that Newby may walk free. We are concerned that the prosecution may not be driving as hard as they can to get justice in this case. The first piece of evidence that we must consider here is that in the state of Indiana, a person that is charged with murder is normally not entitled to bail or a bond. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
In the state of Indiana, a defendant who is charged with murder is not entitled to a bond. It takes extraordinary circumstances. It takes what they call exceptional circumstances for this to occur. The first outrage, the first major concern of the family of Dorian Murrell remains: why the hell is Tyler Newby walking around the community? Why is he free on bail or bond? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Why is Newby free on bond? Is there fairness in the Indianapolis court system and in the judicial system here when it comes to granting bail for defendants? Is there equity? Is there fairness here when it comes to granting bail for defendants? Straight up, if Tyler Newby was a black man and he was charged with murder and he had admitted, like Newby admitted that he shot Dorian Murrell right in the chest, if Tyler Newby was a black man, would he have gotten bond?
No, sir.
If Tyler Newby was a black man, would he have gotten bail?
No.
$250,000 bail, 10% of it, $25,000. You can shoot a black man, be charged with murder, and released if you're a white man like Tyler Newby in Indiana. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
But is it right?
No.
Is it right?
No.
What do we want?
Justice.
And when do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
And when do we want it?
Now.
Tyler Newby should never have gotten bail. And the prosecutors here have not explained to the family, they have not explained to the community what went on in that courtroom when the prosecution conceded to that bail. How can this be a prosecution that the people of the city, the people of Marion County can trust? When Newby walked free on that bond and he shouldn't have got that bond, and the prosecutor has not explained what the hell happened. We do know that the prosecution did not argue for him to remain held without bond. And that is offensive. And more so offensive, Mr. Prosecutor, it is frightening. It is frightening to know that you did not pursue Tyler Newby to be held without bond or bail in this case. Why didn't you argue? What were these exceptional circumstances? Why did you roll over? And I see why the family's concerned. I see why the community's concerned. I see why they say that the case may be thrown. And we are here to say that we can't allow this case to be thrown. We can't allow it to be prosecuted. As soon as we leave here, we're going over here to the prosecutor's office. They say that they have new videotapes out. We want the video evidence, and we want it now. We want that video evidence. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What do we want?
Video.
And when do we want it?
Now.
We want to know what happened out here on May 31st, 2020. Now, Tyler Newby admits that Dorian never threw a punch at him. Tyler Newby admits, can't say at all, that Dorian did anything to him at all. He says that he was shoved to the ground and he came up shooting. He was shoved to the ground in the middle of a huge set of circumstances and demonstrations that were going on here, and that he was shoved to the ground, but he came up shooting. Sisters and brothers, according to the law, being shoved to the ground is not deadly force being used against you. Is that right?
That's right.
Being shoved to the ground is not the use of deadly force. Being shoved to the ground is not the use of force that could cause serious bodily injury. Straight up, being shoved to the ground in no way, shape, or form is just cause for any man to come up shooting to kill another man under the laws of the state of Indiana or the United States Constitution. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So it should be an easy case here. This should be an easy conviction here. When a man has shot and killed Dorian, has killed another man without justification and without cause. How the hell is he out on bail? He should be in jail. Huh?
Should be in jail.
Black power?
Black power.
What do we want?
Justice.
And when do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Chief Justice of the state of Indiana, Chief Justice Loretta Rush, not Malik Shabazz, not Black Lawyers for Justice, not the new Black Panther Party, not Brother Ajabu, not Pansock, not CG. Chief Justice Loretta Rush, a Caucasian woman, said here last year that there is bias and prejudice all up in the judicial and the legal system of the entire state of Indiana. Chief Justice Loretta Rush says that there's bias, lack of fairness, from the judges down to the prosecutors down to the lawyers. And she said that things must change. And she said that there's bias and discrimination in every county throughout the state of Indiana. Now, I don't know, I just got here. Is there bias and discrimination in every county in the state of Indiana? Raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you know this state. Because the chief judge of the state has stated that bias and unfairness and giving more, in her words, more severe punishment meted out to people of color happens on a regular basis. That black people in the state of Indiana don't have access to lawyers. They don't have access to the resources of their white counterparts. And so based on the statements and the findings of the Chief Justice, I, Malik Shabazz, on behalf of Black Lawyers for Justice, we are here to announce that not only are we going to press the prosecutor, not only do we want to see the prosecutor right away about the case of Tyler Newby, and we want to be clear, we want to see every piece of evidence that he plans to present. We want to see the videos. We want to know how he's going to try the case, and we want him to be successful. Don't get me wrong. We are here to criticize, but we want him to be successful. He has to be successful if there's going to be confidence in this judicial system, or if confidence will ever someday be restored. This is a test case. But I, on behalf of Black Lawyers for Justice, tonight at the Hovey Street Church, we are going to announce, we're going to take testimony tonight. But we have enough evidence already to open up a national civil and human rights investigation into a pattern and practice of systematic racism here in the city of Indianapolis, in the court system of Indianapolis, and in the court systems of Indiana. We have to have an independent civil and human rights investigation. Somebody has to go into the books. Somebody has to subpoena the files. Somebody has to see what bail has been given out for what suspects over the years. Somebody has to come here and investigate, and we will investigate how bail is decided here by the judges, and is bail given fairly to white defendants as equally as it is to black defendants. We want the facts. We want to know about charges being filed. We want to know, and we will find out if charges that are being filed against black defendants are these same charges under same circumstances. Are the charges being levied against white defendants, or are the charges being dropped? We want to know how community service and diversion is being meted out. Are white young men giving community service and diversion while blacks are railroaded and herded to jail? We want facts. We can't take anybody's word for it. Pardon me sweating, but I'm hot out here. Maybe somebody wipe my brow if they can. It's all right. It's all right. Look, I'm sweating, but Brother Dorian not here. And many blacks, let me tell you this. The judge is right. Since 1851, they didn't even want a black man in the state. They wouldn't even allow a black person to settle in the state of Indiana, and the state started off as a Ku Klux Klan state.
Yes, sir.
I said that the state, the basis of the state, the value system, the culture, the ideology that permeates through this system here in Indiana is based in the ideology of the Ku Klux Klan. Of the who?
Ku Klux Klan.
Of the who?
Ku Klux Klan.
Of the who?
Ku Klux Klan.
According to scholars, not me, according to the scholars, that the Ku Klux Klan mentality has reached all into the 21st century, and that it permeates the judicial system, it permeates the political system, it permeates the daily life. You know about these what they call sunshine towns?
Sundown town.
Sundown towns? What is a sundown town? And there are more sundown towns, they say, in Indiana than anywhere throughout the Midwest. A sundown town is where a black man better not be caught after sundown. A sundown town is an all-white town. And they say hundreds still to this day, hundreds of all-white towns exist throughout Indiana and throughout the Midwest. They don't even exist in the South, but they up in here in the Midwest. And they say, black man, you better get out of town by sundown. That's the value system. That's the culture that permeates this legal system that I'm talking about. We are going to know, as I conclude, are blacks and whites being sentenced equally when they are convicted of crimes? We are going to get the sentencing records. We're going after the lawsuits, the criminal cases, the civil cases, and we want to know. We want the Indianapolis Police Department. We are going to investigate the Indianapolis Police Department. We're going to investigate officer complaints and how they have been acted on and how they haven't been acted on at all. We are going to formally investigate this police department stops and detainments to see whether the stops and detainments are based on reasonable suspicion or are they based on racial profiling. We're going to get the numbers to see who stopped in this county, how they are stopped, why they are stopped, and we're going to get it through the Freedom of Information Act. We'll get it by litigation. We'll get it by demonstration and agitation. But we got to have the facts, and we got to let the facts take us where they may. What do we want?
Justice.
And when do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
And so we want justice for Dorian. We have to have justice for Dorian. We want Tyler Newby prosecuted right away. We want him back in jail now. Since he's got new charges, they say. A new charge just today. I wonder did this have anything to do with it? New charges found. But we want the bail revoked. And we want him back in jail. That is an insult for Newby to be out on bond. A $25,000 payment to get out on bond. I have never heard of such. We must have justice. We're going to go see the prosecutor. We're going to go see him. And we have to have answers. I'm going with the community members as soon as we leave here. And we want answers. And we must have a strong, thorough, and vigorous prosecution. And moreover, due to the history of racism and bias and Ku Klux Klan values in this state, that we, Black Lawyers for Justice, are formally launching a civil and human rights investigation into this police department, into the court system, into what the judges have been doing, because the Chief Justice, Loretta Rush, has already told us that it exists. She just didn't investigate it. And that's my job. And that will be our job. Thank you for listening to the time here. Now we'll talk about tomorrow also. I know there are a lot of questions about tomorrow. And so I'll let CG speak to that. So they have organized tomorrow, but we'll take your questions, ladies and gentlemen of the press.
Are there any plans right now for a civil lawsuit or other litigation, and when might we see that in courts?
Plans for a lawsuit.
Question is there any plans for civil lawsuit or civil litigation? You must mean against Tyler Newby individually, is that right?
Or any litigation at all from your end?
The litigation from our end will be based on this civil and human rights investigation. That based on the level of compliance from the city and the county, based on their level of compliance will determine what would have to be litigated. If they comply with the Freedom of Information Act request that will be coming within the next 30 days, that will determine the level of litigation. But of course, litigation is a tool. Litigation is a tool that could be used against Tyler Newby as an individual. Litigation is a tool that will be used to uncover the facts to help uncover what's going on here in the state. By all tools that I could use and that our lawyers and other lawyers we have in this state will be used. Ma'am?
There was some reporting from a few days after Dorian was killed that the family member who was walking with him at the time didn't see Tyler Newby. I was just wondering if that was accurate and if the family is positive that Tyler Newby is the right person in this case, just to clarify.
Well, if you look at police reports, evidence sits in a police report. There were witnesses that were investigated or interviewed by police, and they said that Tyler Newby, the incident did not happen as far as for the altercation. Now, as far as for seeing Tyler Newby, I can't speak on that. But as far as for the altercation that Tyler Newby said happened as a result of what he did, that altercation never happened.
In the press release for these events this weekend, there was the mention of Newby being an alleged white supremacist. What have you seen or heard that suggests that it's true?
I have received multiple reports. That there is evidence of Tyler Newby being a white supremacist. Me personally, I have not seen it, but I have received reports from the community about it. I tried to go on Facebook and social media to see it, but a lot of things have been removed and blocked. So if it was there, it could have been, but if it's there currently to be able to be viewed, I can't speak on that. But I was told that there were pictures circulating around of him burning crosses at a younger age. So I really can't speak as far as for personal testimony, but as far as for what was reported, yes, there has been plenty of it. Yes, sir.
I'm a member of the community, not the press, but I just want to be clear about the fact, was Tyler Newby indicted by a grand jury or was just charged by the prosecutor?
Tyler Newby was only charged by the prosecutor. This hasn't gone past the prosecutor. Everything that's been controlled as far as for charges and actions taken has coming from the prosecution office. It hasn't gone past that point yet.
Yes.
This is concerning the video evidence. What is that? What video from where? Was it restaurants or gas stations? And secondarily, what do you think this evidence might show?
We will be speculating, but we want to go ask. We want to. I got it. We want to find out about it. We're assuming that based on rules of just on relevance, that it would show the shooting. We're hoping that it shows the shooting or shows direct circumstances relating to the shooting.
And this video exists. You definitely know it exists.
It's in the police report and it's admitted as evidence. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
With the new charges, how hopeful are you that some kind of justice can be seen for the Murrell family, whereas it seemed like possible murder charge might not have been convictable?
They say repeat the question.
I got the question. Question is the new charge. The new charge is
Involuntary manslaughter is what I was told.
just were told this morning. Just fresh news. Involuntary manslaughter. And the question is, does the new charge help the case? And I'm going to have to look into it. On one hand, you could say that a new charge could help the case. On another hand, when that charge is involuntary manslaughter and it's so far away from first-degree murder, one has to wonder, is the murder charge in jeopardy? Because I would have been expecting maybe another lesser degree of murder charge or aggravated assault charge would be the alternative. And so I'm concerned. I'm concerned that it's not an aggravated assault charge or a lesser degree murder charge added to it. And it's something I'm going to have to look further into the law about, and something that we're going to talk to the prosecutor about. Because certainly we don't want to turn around here in a week or so and they say that Tyler Newby is being prosecuted only for involuntary manslaughter. That would be a tragedy, because just off the top of my head, I can tell you that that's about 2 years in jail.
Yes, sir.
Do we know who it was who posted the bail for him? Is that part of court records?
I would think it would be part of court records, but we do not have a confirmation of who posted the bail for him. We know there were funds raised on his behalf, but we don't know by who or when exactly what was raised.
You said it was uncommon for people charged with murder to be let out on bail. In the situation where that does happen, though, is it common for the prosecutor to explain to the victim's family why they were released?
That would be more than appropriate. If the general rule is that a person charged with murder does not get a bond, then it would be more than respectful for the prosecutor to explain why that defendant was granted bond. Yeah, that would be, I think that would be more than proper procedure. And the fact that everything that I researched and talked to the family about, no one has explained what happened behind those closed doors. Yeah. And that's not right. That's not transparency, and that's not right.
Yeah, when they had those hearings, we had family that was present for that hearing. They removed our family from the courtroom, locked the doors, and wouldn't let us in to know what was going on with this hearing. Once the hearing and the proceedings were done, they came out and then they notified us, but they wouldn't even let us in the courtroom for that. They removed us from the room for that. Just to kind of close it up, it's kind of hot out here. I know everybody's been out here for a while. We're going to go. The prosecutor's office is closed. They're under construction right now. We're going to go here into the city county building. We're going to go to the clerk office and see if we can get hold of this new evidence that they're saying that they have. There's a couple of things that we're going to try to get answers for. We're going to see what we can try to get answers for, and then we're going to basically see where that goes to. Afterwards, this evening, there will be a town hall meeting at Hovey Street Church. The address for that is 2338 East Hovey Street, I believe. North Hovey Street, I'm sorry, 2338 North Hovey Street.
Yes, there's going to be a press conference. I'm sorry. There'll be a town hall meeting this evening. The town hall meeting will be at Hovey Street Church. The address is 2338 Hovey Street. 46218 is the zip code. That starts at 5 p.m. We will be there. We have people from the community. We have different community organizations coming. We would like for everyone to come out and support this. We're trying to come up with solutions on how to protect our community. There's a big violence problem and gun problem here in the state of Indiana, and we would like to try to help and bring some solutions to the table to try to curb that. That is going to be today. Tomorrow, we also have another event going on. We're going to have an Open 2A march. We will be marching downtown here. We will be armed, and we will have followers and protesters with us. We're going to start our rally point. We'll go from our rally point, we'll go to Pan Am Plaza. We will have a couple of speakers at Pan Am Plaza to speak for the community and the concerns, and we're going to try to protest, and we're going to get some awareness brought about the things that are going on here in the city. From Pan Am Plaza, we will go from there, and we're going to go back to our rally point, where we're going to go past the location of where Dorian was shot and killed at. When we go to this location, we want to bring awareness about the cameras in the area. We want to bring awareness just about the buildings in the area. We want to bring awareness just about the situation, period, so everyone can see the inconsistencies and what they're trying to do and the evidence and everything that's going on. So we want to bring awareness to that tomorrow. We will be at Pan Am Plaza at about 1 p.m. If you want to meet us there, please meet us there. That's open for the community. We would like for guys to come out, and we're trying to get awareness to the city. We're going to go ahead and close this press conference now. We're going to go ahead and go inside here in the city county building to the clerk's office for the court. And we're going to try to see if we can get some answers, and we can try to find out what's going on with the new charges that have been brought up as of today. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank all the organizations, the veterans that have come out, the Panthers that's come out. We've got people that's traveling that's on the way here now that's going to join us. We've got people that's already here that has traveled that's going to join us. We have individuals from the community. We have media individuals from out of town. I want to thank Unicorn Riot. I would like to thank Brother Jabu here. I see we have USA Today. I don't know exactly. Okay, we got the recorder. We got the recorder here also. So we want to thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank everybody for listening, taking notes, paying attention, and we hope that you guys continue pressing with us so we can try to get answers for this case and also for the city. Once again, I want to thank you. We have some flyers here we're passing out to everybody. That way you can have the information that we're speaking on. We would like to try to get that spread around as much as possible. And if you got any questions, you guys feel free to reach out to anybody here.
So, this is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We're here live in downtown Indianapolis in front of the City County building, where a press conference was just had for the family of Dorian Murrell, and this press conference is having to do with the charges that Tyler Newby was. One second.
All of that is public information, and so we're going to request that right now. If you are really trying to find the case, come with us so that we know what information.
So we're going to walk in with them. If the connection dips out, just stay with us. We're going to try to follow. If the connection goes down, we will put up the feed. We will put up the video after this. Again, we're here downtown Indianapolis. New charges have been brought against Tyler Newby, the confessed killer of Dorian Murrell, who was killed during George Floyd protests last year on May 31st. And the community is going to try to get evidence right now.
Sit on third floor at the top. No, first floor.
First floor?
Yes, sir. We going to the first floor.
Okay.
We're going to the clerk's office. We should be able to find out exactly. Watch yourself. Go around. Go to your left. Go to your left. Go to your left. Left. All right. Come this way. We should be able to find out exactly what the prosecution has found in this case. They found video. They found Facebook posts. We should be able to get that information right now. So we're going in here to find that out. Malik Shabazz, you've done an excellent job of laying out the case.
This is an elder, Jabu.
You are the legal expert. We're going to find out what's going on. Now I have press credentials, so I don't have to go through.
Involve the door.
Okay. I got press credentials, so I don't have to go through security. So I'm going to get in here and y'all keep on on.
Thank you, bro. Go ahead. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Thank you, bro. Okay. We okay?
You'll have to go through security. It's all good. Well, gentlemen, will cooperate.
Yeah, first security, please.
Huh?
You guys come in the building, you got
I got credentials. I got credentials.
He does? Okay, good.
So right now everybody's going through security to get in to the courthouse. Again, we're here in downtown Indianapolis inside the city county courthouse. If the feed drops, continue to follow us and we'll post it up. So again, Dorian Murrell was killed May 31st in 2020 during the height of George Floyd uprising here in Indianapolis. He was killed, one of, I think, 3 other victims that day. Very wild night and a few nights in Indianapolis. Dorian Murrell is 18 years old. The confessed killer is Tyler Newby, who is 31-year-old white male. Dorian Murrell is a black youth. The family has been saying that they are not receiving justice. Tyler Newby has been bailed out or bonded out. That is a very unnormal thing here in Indiana, where one of the part of their articles of their Constitution specifically states that nobody is to be given bond for murder charges unless there's specific evidence to sort of points that they aren't murder charges. So Newby claims self-defense. Newby claims that he shot Murrell as Murrell looked over him after he got shoved to the ground by somebody else. Newby then was bailed or bonded out in August, so he's been free to fight this case alone, or not in jail. So right now we're seeing people walk through the security here at the City County building, where they'll be shortly trying to find evidence for. You can see Attorney Malik Shabazz speaking right now. I'm going to be quiet and let him speak.
In a state that is not alleged in white supremacists, it is surely a state that is rooted in white supremacy, and black people have a lot of justice issues here. So I'm here to press the prosecution that Tyler Newby, a Caucasian, who has been let go on bail, he's a white man, that has been let out on bail for murder, and you're not supposed to even be let out in this state on bond or bail for murder charges, and no one has explained this to the family. No one has explained why for $25,000 he's out here on the streets. That's an outrage. We want to know the evidence behind the case, and we got to ensure that this case will be prosecuted vigorously, and that the state, the city, and everybody knows that all eyes is on the case of Tyler Newby. All eyes. And that nothing's going to go south while our eyes are asleep. That's why we're here. That's what the news conference is for, town hall meeting is for, and tomorrow's demonstration at Pan Am Plaza, tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock p.m. We're trying to bring awareness to this case. We're trying to bring awareness to the city. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. Pan Am Plaza, we will be having a demonstration, rally for justice. And then we're going to go there. We're going to go by the actual location where Dorian was shot and killed. We're going to bring some awareness to that location. What we're doing this to try to bring change and try to get answers to a lot of these questions that won't be answered. This evening, we're going to have also a town hall meeting at Holy Street Church. It's going to be at 5 o'clock p.m. We're hoping the community comes out and supports. See you there.
Okay. We're going to just stay here. We're going to stay live. We're going to stay live while we just wait, because we got to. We're going to wait till about here. Let me ask you something.
So that was, who you just heard from was Attorney Malik Shabazz, as well as CG, Dorian Murrell's cousin. We spoke to CG a little bit ago, a month or two ago, about the case that his cousin is dealing with, or about his cousin's murder case, how he was murdered, and then therefore what are the inconsistencies, what are the evidence, what the family is dealing with in the aftermath. And so we have a special on our website, unicornriot.ninja. Check that out. You will see that the family has basically three thoughts as to who killed him. Either a police officer that was out at Monument Square, downtown Indianapolis, about a block from where we are. White militia shooting from either a window, a rooftop, or the parking ramp, or Tyler Newby. They're saying if it was Tyler Newby, then his story just doesn't add up and doesn't match up with. This is a. So it looks like a lot of the folks have gotten through security. There's still a few left. Again, these are a lot of the Black Panther movement, a lot of members within it through different branches in different cities. From my understanding, this tomorrow there's a sort of hashtag Operation Pull Up, 2A, basically open carry march for black rights and for black life. It's like a couple people left.
You good? Fish. All the way through the hall to the right.
Okay, we're gonna follow. Some of the group is still going through, but they'll come join. clerk's office. Clerk's office. Whoops, sorry. Thank you.
These are a copy for divorce certificate, or maybe taken like just a copy. 2016.
Okay. Now we're going to go to one of these windows.
Okay.
Unless she opens up and tells us to come over there, you know, and we're going to get this documentation. All right, the prosecutor has filed in this case, and we'll be moving forward accordingly. Yes, sir. You know, how you doing? You know, this is
Yep.
okay. I'm with you. How you doing? Good. How are you? Good. I need for you to just, it should be recorded. The documents that got the red ink, I need those.
Okay.
Okay.
So they'll let you basically, they just give you any document in the case because it's not online.
We gonna walk. No,
I couldn't pull the PDFs online.
not unless you would scan it and put it online.
They give it to you right now? They give it to you right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You know the works here.
Boy, I'm telling you, I know my way around down here.
That's right.
And I know her.
Making sure everything that we do is the case, everything, all the documents that are not available.
Now, when you talk about videos, can we get that instantaneous too? Videos. There's a couple of videos on there. Can we get those right now, or do we? Is there?
Can you confirm?
Okay, but the video we can get that from the court. Okay. Okay.
Confirm the trial date.
The trial date. Look on the bottom there. And tell me the trial date.
The elder just asked the clerk if they could get the video, and they said not here, so they can give out documents but not video evidence, so they can possibly try in the courts.
The trial date.
Okay, let me get these out first.
Okay.
So the clerk is being very helpful.
Oh, she was with us. You with us? Oh, okay. I see the captain rank, you know.
Again, we're here live at the city clerk office in the city county building in Indianapolis, Marion County, Indiana.
Yeah, it is.
This is the cousin of Dorian Murrell right here, off to the left of us in the white shirt. Corey, he's sort of created this press conference.
Say that again.
They don't have the PDF downloaded for the no contact order.
Okay.
They just have it mentioned on
Okay. Will you put a check by that so that I know that?
So right now they're getting all the evidence, or they're asking the clerk to get all the evidence. And she said that there's a PDF with a no contact order that they do not have. The court hasn't provided. But it seems like other documents will be had except for the video evidence. So how you feeling right now? You're a step away from getting some of the evidence in your cousin's death.
I feel like we're making a little bit of progress with it. There's so much to this case. We got a lot of ground to cover, but I do feel like we got a good start and a good push, and I think what we're doing is effective because just the new developments today is something that hasn't been worked on or something that the prosecution has been looking over as far as for even looking at evidence or trying to communicate with us or transparency of evidence or anything. So this is a good sign for us, and we feel like that things are starting to move for us a little bit.
What made the decision to just like, hey, we just got to come in and get it?
We're just tired. The city of Indianapolis is really been going through some things, and when you have city officials that can't give you answers in multiple cases on multiple levels from multiple departments, that's a major problem. So our whole thing is getting this awareness, getting this ball rolling for Indianapolis. That way, not only we can be able to get answers, but other families out there, because there's a lot of other families out there in the same situation as us, and we're trying to better that situation for everybody.
Anything else you want to say in regards to the press conference that was just had, or just standing right here in the building right now?
I feel good about everything. I feel a lot better than what I did feel. I want to thank Unicorn Riot for what they have done, for supporting us, for helping us get the word out and trying to get awareness about this to this case and bring awareness to Indiana, period, about the racist things that go on here, the way they treat the community here. Just overall, it needs to be better for the community. So I want to thank everybody for their support. My family really is grateful for it. We want to thank you for supporting us, for being there for us, sharing videos. We have a GoFundMe that's up. I think that's on Unicorn Riot's page. We would like to ask that the community will come and help us to continue with this fight. We have ongoing costs for legal and also for awareness, bringing awareness about things like this. So we've got a long road ahead of us, and we're just looking for any help that we can get, and we're grateful for the help that we've gotten already. Appreciate it.
So that was Corey, the cousin of Dorian Murrell, here in Indianapolis. We have the clerk in the background behind the computer screens trying to get some of the evidence that the family is requesting.
And there's a sister. What's Miss Sims' first name? What's Miss Sims' first name? What's her first name? Mims. Diane. Help me here, you know.
Looks like some of the evidence is coming.
No. There's going to be a charge. You got some money?
How much is it?
I don't know.
That's all right. We got it.
Okay. Not an issue. 19.
So there's a nominal fee for the documents. And this is Brother Ajum.
Keep it separate.
Excuse me, not Ajum, Abuja. So helped hook it up. He was one of the first Black Panthers in Indiana.
Yeah, staple individual.
So again, this is not just a few people. It's a crowd of folks. So we heard a press conference earlier where it was asked if Tyler Newby was connected to any white supremacy or white supremacist groups. Dorian's cousin said that he has seen, or he had heard reports from other people saying that Tyler Newby's old social media postings might have had some of him burning some crosses on him when he was a teenager. His social media has been pretty much scrubbed, and you can't really find much of anything anymore. In terms of Tyler Newby, the confessed killer of Dorian Murrell, who has trial next week, 2 weeks from now, excuse me. August 3rd, I believe his trial starts, August 5th, something like that. The clerk is grabbing some more documents, maybe just the receipt.
Thank you. Appreciate you so much. We got it.
So success, except for the video.
You can't do that. Okay. I thought you said she had one. No, she's been trying to get it. He wouldn't respond. He won't respond.
Oops, sorry.
That's why he was put back prison. Because he went back prison within a year.
And you should get that dude to Malik and let him look over that. Then he's the legal man. How you doing, son? Hey, pretty good. How you doing? Good. Right there, brother. Going this way.
Yep.
Do it down here. Nico, sure.
Yeah, I do.
Do it down here.
Do it.
Plus, I don't want to get in front of the door.
No, yeah. I just wanted to holler at him real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, can we come over here and wait for the speaker?
We can go wherever y'all want.
Like right over here
Yep.
by the council, son. Feedback on that.
Now,
We're going to speak to
have everybody come this way.
Dr. Malik Shabazz real quick.
You. Scott. Get everybody set up behind us for the start.
Okay.
CG.
So what's the deal with the video then? The video is...
We'll have to go through the court to get it. The clerk does not have it. Yep. So we're going to
Explain to you what's happening in 1 minute. Just stand by. Brother CG, we made one mistake.
What's that?
That can't happen.
They got flyers, man. Yeah, they've been at them already. They got flyers.
we're going to have a post presser right here.
Okay, yeah. We already discussed that earlier.
Anybody amongst our people, we got to get them.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so I'll take a few questions here. Then we got so the first thing I want to say here is, and this would be a message to the activists that are watching also, is that it's very important that you are familiar with the court and judicial proceedings in your city. It's very important that you know your way around the courthouse, that you know the criminal clerk's office, the civil clerk's office, the family clerk's office, and that you know about the affairs of justice in your city. It's one thing to be out on the street, which is good, to holler no justice and no peace. It's another thing to know about this courthouse, because coming on August 3rd, is that right?
Yes, sir.
On August 3rd, we want the courthouse packed here in Indianapolis. On August 3rd, we got to have court watch. And those rows of the courtroom must be filled so that the jury knows and that the judge knows and that everybody here knows, and you can speak to this. Come on my side.
Okay.
That everyone here knows that the prosecution of Tyler Newby for the murder of Dorian Murrell is important. And so we must engage the courtrooms. We must know about them. We must know about court watch, court petitions. You've got to get to an advanced level or know how to write judges and know how to write prosecutors. And as black people, we have to, as an attorney, I want to say, as black people, we must vigorously engage this system. Because you weren't over there earlier, ma'am, and we pointed it out. When you don't engage the system, sometimes sentences are longer, more charges are levied, charges are not dropped. Unfair actions happen here when nobody is watching. And that's what we're here for. That's what these Black Panthers are here for. They are here because they are moving to a higher level of political engagement. And they're going to be here for this trial. They're going to be here for the trial. Sir?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you just basically summed up a lot of the questions I had even earlier. But in general, when we're talking about Indianapolis and you're talking about even just the whole arc of white supremacy and racism that's sort of imbued in this society or in the city itself, what is this case? How does that relate to all of that? How does Dorian Murrell's case relate to the white supremacy in Indiana?
Elder Ajabu and CG, who are natives of the state, would speak better to it. I fundamentally say that my research says that the white supremacist mentality that was inbred in the states decades ago, the mentality has not been abolished. So if the mentality of white supremacy hasn't been abolished, and the Chief Justice of the state just said here last year that injustice is still in all of the counties, it's in the judges, it's in the judicial system, that means we gotta watch to see whether or not Tyler Newby will actually be fairly prosecuted. We can't just take it for granted. And the fact that he's given bail has raised a red flag with everyone. So I say that the history and the past of what's going on in the state makes everyone nervous about this case today.
Just like we have to conduct ourselves in the court of public opinion, we've got to be able to conduct ourselves in the court of legal opinion. We want to think that just because Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation that we are free. And we know that on paper that's true, but in practice it's not. We look at Dorian Murrell's case and we find out that in a state where the law says that you're not supposed to get bail if you charged with murder, he done got bail. We've got indication that he might be hooked up with the police. So now if the police can get a murderer, a person who admits to killing someone who he don't even know who he says got knocked down on the ground, he don't even know who pushed him down, he just came up shooting and cost Dorian his life, that's slavery. That's a white man being able to kill a black man and not be held accountable. That's a con game. That's saying that we're gonna go, okay, make you think that there's justice, but all the time it's a con game. That boy is out here walking the streets right now, charged with murder of a black man, and they saying, yeah, okay, how's it relate? Yeah, you got rights, but none of the white people are deemed to respect. That's the law. Justice Taney said that in a Supreme Court decision, and it was supposed to be overturned, but we still seeing it in practice. It's time for that stuff to stop. We are at war. How do we know that? I'm a Vietnam veteran, decorated I might add. Got the second highest medal that they give a soldier that's been in combat. When I was in combat, I was in a situation just like this. If we stopped a vehicle and that vehicle pulled off in war, you shoot, because you don't know, and you shoot to kill. You don't know where he's going. But if you policing, you got the license plate number, you got the driver's license, you don't have to shoot. Wait till he come home. So these police are not policing, they waging war. The only difference in Vietnam, we knew we was at war. The people now are thinking that the police are policing. No, they ain't policing, they're waging war. And if we understand that they're waging war, then we will act accordingly. I better leave it at that.
We'll see you all tonight. We'll get ready for tonight. Thank you so much. All right.
I think you guys all got flyers, right? Come out, have a town hall. Pretty good. We'll see everybody out.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you headed now?
I'm gonna take the stream down. Let me give me a few minutes and I'll talk. All right, you all. Thank you for joining. This is Nico from Unicorn Riot. We're here live in Indianapolis. What you just heard was basically family, friends, and advocates, as well as the legal team of Dorian Murrell, seeking justice for Dorian Murrell, who was killed May 31st, 2020 during the George Floyd uprising, only about 2 blocks from here, by a man named Tyler Newby. Tyler Newby is about 31 years old, a young white male. Dorian Murrell is a young black male. He was 18. He was a teenager. His family is now left with the void without Dorian around. Tyler Newby has trial starting in early August. From the trial, we know today that there was a brand new charge brought against Tyler Newby, and that's involuntary manslaughter. He was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree murder. That additional charge now is possibly a very bad thing or possibly a good thing. The very bad thing could be that they are not able to bring a real murder charge against him, or they do not feel, the prosecution that is, might not feel that they could convict him on a murder charge. Newby is claiming self-defense and is claiming that Dorian Murrell and his friends had pushed him down, and he feared for his life and just shot. Dorian Murrell didn't say a word to him. There's multiple witnesses who saw that transaction transpire, but there's other people who think that Tyler Newby is not the one who shot him. So there's the family thinks that it's possibly the police, a white militia, or Tyler Newby. And if it was Tyler Newby, it just didn't happen the way Tyler Newby says. Go to our website, unicornriot.ninja, or go to our YouTube or our Vimeo and check out the video that we have with Kwame Shakur and Corey, the cousin of Dorian Murrell, who's right here in the white shirt on the right side. They break down all the inconsistencies that they found in the case. They've been investigating the case for the last year themselves. And so they feel like they've gotten even more evidence at some points than the police have gotten. So again, tomorrow we will be around in Indianapolis covering the 2A open carry march here in downtown Indianapolis. There will be folks open and carrying for black rights, for black power, excuse me, I think is what the flyer said. So continue to follow us here in Indianapolis, not Minneapolis, Indianapolis here, Indiana. This is Nico. Thank you so much, Chris, for running the back end. We will be continuing to bring you coverage from Indianapolis. Tonight there is a 5 p.m. Human Rights Symposium, or a panel, a town hall type of meeting that we will also be covering. So continue to follow us. If you like our coverage, go to unicornriot.ninja. If you're financially privileged, go to unicornriot.ninja/donate. And that's the only way we're able to survive. To continue our media making is your support. So thank you all. You take care, and Chris, we can bring the stream down. We'll be back up a little bit later tonight.
That would be one I would say, no, if y'all want to argue. Hennessy.